Okay, so it's the day of the submission and I've done nothing. It's a regular Monday morning. I got up, hit the gym, showered, shaved, got dressed, headed to the studio to get in an hour before work and heading to the 9 to 5. And then it hit me. Today is the last day to submit for the Lo-Fi Collaboration Challenge. So L.Dre, you know, the Lo-Fi guy, opened the collaboration contest for the launch of his sample pack. So let's take it back 2 weeks ago. I downloaded the samples so I could participate in the contest. The goal of participation was to take a risk, have some fun, do something different, but I damn near literally waited until the last minute to start. Like, today's the last day. But the 2.0 me that I'm practicing to become is like, we put ourselves out there, we take chances, we share our work and our art, and we're not bullied into submission by time or circumstances. We're in charge. No retreat, no surrender, if you're old enough to get that. Okay, so I know I have a challenge ahead of me. So my chances are like 50-50. I don't mean winning the contest. I mean completing the song and submitting it by the deadline. So before heading to work, I did some recon work so I could get a head start on the production that I'd have to do in the evening. I started by rewatching L.Dre's contest announcement video to look for clues on how I could win this thing. Here's what I got. 1, take your time and develop your track. Okay, we're not gonna check that one off, but we move on. 2, the vibe of the track should have that L.Dre vibe, you know what I mean? It should have variety, multiple elements, and ear candy. Number 3, arrangement. Don't let it get boring or repetitive. And 4, the mix and master needs to be A+. And now the pre-production begins. I knew I had about an hour before I had to report into work, so I loaded the L.Dre drum samples into a battery kit, made the primary drum pattern, chose the main instrument, chill piano, of course. I sketched out an outline of the chord progression. Then it was time for work. The rest of the track would have to wait until I finished with my 9 to 5. So the workday came and went, but as I went through my day, I was thinking, how could I complete my composition? This is a great benefit of starting the project in the morning and letting your subconscious work on it while you go about the rest of the day. It's a little trick that I learned from Pat Patterson's book, Writing Better Lyrics. So here's the play-by-play of how I did the production after I got off work. Hour 1, I added a bass line, rebalanced the fundamentals, drums, bass, and piano. I'm gonna have to mix this thing on the fly. I just don't have the time. I reviewed my analysis checklist. Good, I think I'm in the ballpark. I added support instruments. I'm picking presets. I'm inverting chords, but everything's not flowing freely. I had a little bit of struggle with creating a top line melody, but I persevered. But then I started feeling stuck. What do? I break out of the loop and I start thinking linear. After all, this is a song contest, not a loop making competition. Hour 2, I'm out of the loop cycle. I'm adding and muting different instruments. I start my second attempt at a top line melody and crash. You gotta be kidding me, right? But don't panic. Restart. Okay, good. Autosave to the rescue. I decided to add some upright bass. Then I created a B section and a vamp. Hour 3, I started by refreshing my ears and listening to the previous winning track, Untold Stories. Then back to finishing the track, I add another L.Dre element. It's a percussion loop. I processed it by time stretching, filtering, adding delay, adding reverb. This transformed the percussion loop into something more of ear candy for the B section. All right, composition done. Now on the mastering. Full disclosure here, this is where I cut corners. It wasn't my best mix, but I didn't have time to stress it. And since it wasn't my most balanced mixed, I couldn't get the master really loud. But I got close. I got a little more volume out of the track by sidechaining the bass to duck when the kick hit. All right, I'm ahead of schedule. All I have to do now is bounce down my track. I bounce it to a WAV file, and per the specifications, it's too large. So I bounce it down again to an MP3 file. I rename the file as requested in the instructions. All right, I upload, I agree, I submit. Pop the bubbly, I got it done ahead of schedule, 8:30, and submitted. Now all I could do was wait for the results to be announced. Now it's midday, December 6th, and I got an email from L.Dre. Okay, is it good news? Did I win the contest? Nah, it's an update on when the winners will be announced. There were so many submissions, he needed more time to listen to all of them. So per L.Dre, the winners will be announced the following Monday or Tuesday. So Tuesday rolls around, I get another email from L.Dre. Does he need more time? Will he be announcing the winners? Was it all just a joke? Nah, he's actually announcing the winners. And drum roll, please. Yeah, I didn't win. So these guys won. Congrats, fellas. But, you know, that's okay. The point wasn't to win the contest. It was to have fun and complete the song and submit before the deadline. So I kind of won on the day that I submitted because that was the goal. But not winning the contest gave me some experience and things to think about if I possibly ever do this again. Like number one, get familiar with the genre. Number two, put more work on the front end. And number three, don't wait until the last minute. But hey, you live and you learn, hopefully. So all in all, I had a fun time competing in L.Dre's Drum Pack Volume 6 contest. And speaking of drums, if you want to find out about creating your own drum break and using it in a 90s inspired R&B song, click here.